As she said, my name is Chandra Boykins. Thank you all for having me. I really appreciate this opportunity. And I am here to talk to you about high blood pressure. Oh, thank you so much. Also known as hypertension. High blood pressure, when you think about high blood pressure, you should first think about your heart, because your heart is what pumps the blood, and blood pressure is created from the pumping. It's the pressure when the blood goes through the arteries. So each time the heart beats, the arteries have to have the blood go through. I like to think of it as your highway. So with the highway, when we get on for traffic, we want the highway to be clear. Clear, 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 so we can go to where our destination is with no problems. A lot of times we run into traffic, horrible traffic. And with that traffic and congestion, we move very, very slow, sometimes too slow. So two things has to happen with the heart. Number one, the heart has to receive blood in order to pump and push blood out or send it out to the other parts of the body. And I would like to say that there are two highways. One highway is the artery, one highway is the vein. The vein is the highway that brings blood to your heart, and the artery is the vein that brings blood away, that goes and circulates. So let's, for a moment, follow a drop of blood. So this is from my heart to your heart. So you have the superior vena cava and the inferior vena cava that brings the blood in. Inferior brings the blood up from the bottom of your body to the heart. Superior brings it from the top of your body to your heart. This deoxygenated blood, because this blood has gone all over your body and has touched every muscle, every other organ, tissues, everything. And so everything inside of your body is gleaning this oxygen. So this blood cell, which has less oxygen in it, now drops inside of the right upper side of your heart, called the right atrium. The right atrium has a little doorway that separates it from the right ventricle, called a tricuspid valve. The tricuspid opens up, which is your regulator, and it allows blood to drop into the right ventricle. The right ventricle fills up and your heart pumps. And when it pumps, it shoots the blood up into the pulmonary valve, which opens upward. And it allows the blood to travel up into your pulmonary arteries. The pulmonary arteries extend both ways because they are taking blood away. They're taking blood to your lungs. So it goes to the right side and to the left side. Once these drops of blood get into the lungs, they are then filled with oxygen. So if you would just bear with me and participate, we are going to fill our lungs with oxygen. So I would like for you to inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth. Inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth. You have now provided a lot of oxygen to your red blood cells. And those red blood cells are now journeying out and coming back in through your pulmonary vein. The veins bring blood to the heart. So this oxygenated blood comes in through the pulmonary veins and it drops inside of the left atrium. Atriums are at the top, ventricles are at the bottom. So that left atrium has another valve called the bicuspid, which is directing traffic. It opens up, it lets this oxygenated blood go down into the left ventricle. When it fills up the left ventricle, boom. When you hear your heartbeat, when you go to the doctor, you hear boom, 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 love down, boom, boom. So this is the second boom. And it's pushing that oxygenated blood up through the aortic valve, which is opening upward to say, hey, let's go, let's explore. And once it pushes up through the aortic valve, it goes into the aorta. And then you have all these happy, loving, full of oxygen red blood cells that's dispersed into your body. So you have all of this oxygen that's just saying, hey, we have oxygen. Our body needs oxygen. Our muscles need oxygen. Your heart is the hardest working organ. It is the hardest working because it has to push, it's centered right here. And just think, it has to push blood to your head all the way down to your big toe, the tip of your big toe. So it has a job that it needs to do. And when we have some congestion, let's look at these arteries. Let's look at these arteries. Your blood is going through the arteries to all these different parts. So this is the outside of your artery, which is holding everything, all of your capillaries in place. And this is the center. The center is wide open. Your highway is free of traffic. No congestions, good blood flow, completely open, normal blood pressure. Then some of us look like this one. You have an outer, your inner capillaries, and then you start to have plaque buildup in the center. So now your opening is narrow and partially blocked. So you have about 20 or 30 cars on the highway with you now. And the last picture that I'm showing is you're having full-on congestion. Everybody decided to leave their house at the same time that you left your house. So every red blood cell, everything is trying to get out and everything else is interfering because now you're blocked. Blood flow is obstructed and you have high blood pressure. So let's talk about the blood pressure. The Johns Hopkins Medicine states that the National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute defines normal blood pressure as less than 120 is your systolic, over less than 80, which are diastolic. Now, your systolic and diastolic, you have a top number and a bottom number. So your top number, which is your systolic, is when the blood is trying to push and force blood out of the heart. That's your systolic. And the pressure is greatest because the blood is like, let's go, and it's trying to get out there. When the heart relaxes and it's filling back up with the blood, that's your diastolic because it's saying, hey, let the blood come in because we need it so we can push it back out. That's your diastolic or the bottom blood pressure number. So the National Heart, Lung, Blood Institute defines pre-hypertension as 120 to 139, top number systolic being pushed out, over 80 to 89, diastolic resting heart pressure. Hypertension has two stages. So you have stage 1, whereas your blood pressure ranges from 140 to 159, systolic at the top, and diastolic at the bottom, 90 to 99. That's stage 1, saying, hey, come on, let's do something here. Stage 2 is when you go to the doctor and the doctor takes your blood pressure on more than 2 separate occasions, and your blood pressure is repeatedly 160 or higher at the top, or 100 and higher at the bottom, diastolic. They call high blood pressure the silent killer. Silent killer, because a lot of times you have no symptoms. You don't realize you have it until, unfortunately, it's too late, okay? So many people may experience headaches in the morning when you wake up. You're like, I just had a full night's sleep. Why am I waking up with a pounding headache? Check your blood pressure. Sometimes you'll have pounding headaches throughout the day. Check your blood pressure. You can have nosebleeds. You have little capillaries inside of your nose because blood touches everything inside of your body. If that pressure is too strong, your blood, cannot remain in the circulating system, so that pressure bursts and you start to have nosebleeds. If you do not have a history of nosebleeds or a bleeding disorder, please go and get your blood pressure checked. Vision changes, you have blurred vision, seeing spots. To the far extreme is that you cannot see. You're like, I cannot see, everything is black. Your blood pressure needs to be checked. Dizziness, fatigue, anxiety, muscle tremors, nausea and vomiting. Uncontrolled hypertension can harden your arteries and create the chaos that I just showed you with the plaque and the difficulty for that blood to just freely flow. And we want our blood to flow freely throughout our bodies. So let's talk about contributors of high blood pressure. Smoking. Smoking constricts your blood pressure, your blood vessels. So again, we want everything to be wide open, empty, clear highway. If you're smoking, it constricts, it tightens those blood vessels that causes tension and what they say hypertension, increased tension on those blood vessels. So you have increased heart rate, increased blood pressure. Drinking alcohol, it causes an increased level of renin. Renin is released by your kidneys. Renin is released to help you if your blood pressure is too low. It's how your body is just naturally designed. It says, hey, blood pressure is too low. Let's send out these enzymes to elevate the blood pressure. But if you're drinking an excessive amount of alcohol, your body is releasing an excessive amount of renin. So that in turn constricts the blood vessels, in turn raising your blood pressure. Obesity, poor diet leads to plaque buildup in the arteries, which I just showed you. Diabetes that's uncontrolled leads to damaged arteries and veins. Food such as canned soup, frozen foods, frozen pizza, it's high in salt. And that's how they preserve that. That's why it has a long shelf life. However, the increased salt, and we're Southerners, we like to season our food with salt. You season it for taste and just a little, but after we season it to cook and then we put it on our plates, then we add more salt. And so we can actually taste the salt. That's an excessive amount of salt. Salt draws water into the blood, which creates additional pressure on those arteries. And that drives up your blood pressure because you have that increased volume trying to get through the arteries. Sodas have an increased amount of sugar. Sugar blocks the production of nitric oxide, which causes vasoconstriction, which causes those blood vessels to tighten up. That increases your blood pressure. And I'm not saying don't enjoy eating. I'm not saying don't add salt. Just do it in moderation. Drink a soda in moderation. Eat something that you love in moderation. That's all I'm saying. So, non-pharmacological interventions, because we all should go to the doctor and get regular checkups and have our blood pressures monitored by a physician. If you are on blood pressure medication, make sure that your doctor makes sure that that's suitable for you. Because sometimes as we get older, our bodies change and it may need to be adjusted. But non-pharmacological things that we can do that does not require medicine, reduce your salt intake. Drink more water. And you're saying, hey, you just said that salt brings water into the blood system and that increases more volume, which in turn increases your blood pressure. However, there's a trickiness here. When you drink increased water, that makes you urinate more. So if you're urinating more, it's saying, hey, come on, we're gonna go. So this water you're drinking is pulling the extra water out, and you go to the bathroom and you're decreasing your blood volume. So that lowers your blood pressure. Decrease juice intake. Eat fruit. If you have a taste for mango juice, go and buy a mango. You want strawberry juice, go and buy some fresh strawberries. And these fresh fruits have antioxidants in them, they have enzymes in them, they have different minerals in them that will help lower your blood pressure. Eating fruits like limes and lemons, they have calcium and potassium. Calcium and potassium work with the contractility on the heart, and that helps to push your blood pressure out. And other vegetables such as strawberries, any kind of vegetable, you can look it up, you can Google it. It gives you helpful benefits to your heart. Honey. A lot of people think about honey as the bees. So these little bees help us. Honey is a natural sweetener, and you can use that in the place of sugar. Honey works on our digestive system. When our digestive system is working and it pushes out all of the things that we've eaten, then that reduces the amount of backup foods that we have, which creates more plaques in our arteries. So if we use the bathroom regularly, having a regular bowel movement with the stimulation of just natural honey, then we reduce the buildup in our arteries, which in turn help our heart. Smoking. Try your best if you are someone who smokes cigarettes to see a doctor and try to decrease your smoking, if not cease altogether. Smoking, the nicotine constricts your blood vessels. Constricting your blood vessels, again, it raises your blood pressure. Decrease coffee. Caffeine increases blood pressure. Add fruit, vegetables, nuts, and fiber to your diet. Again, those nuts, that fiber, your happy little Cheerios. Have a bowl of Cheerios every morning. Have oatmeal. So just you can have a variety of foods for breakfast. You're not just confined to one thing just because you want to change your lifestyle and change your diet to help decrease your blood pressure. Then these things help with the digestive tract, which in turn help lower the blood pressure. Have salads. When you go out, instead of having fried mozzarella sticks, which I love, have a salad with some vinegar dressing. Vinegar also helps to decrease your blood pressure. It's a dilator. It opens up those vessels. Exercise regularly, 3 to 5 times a week. All of us have these smartphones. I have an Android. Some of you may have the iPhone. There is an app for each and every one of you. Look in your Play Store, find some exercises that help you, that you can do safely without restrictions. My mother has had bilateral knee replacement, so she can't do a lot of exercises, but we found something that she can do. There's always something out there that you can do. So just try your best to exercise. Start walking. Just walking 20, 30 minutes a day, that can help. Decrease your stress level. Take a long hot bath at the end of the day. Our days are stressful. We have everything pulling at us, coming at us, work, family, just any and everything, other people coming to us, and we're trying to be supportive of them, and then we kind of neglect ourselves. Take a hot bath, long or short. Take a hot shower. That steam dilates your blood vessels, which increases your blood flow and lowers your blood pressure. Now, if you're on blood pressure medicine, try not to take your blood pressure medicine and within 30 minutes immediately get in the shower. So make sure you know the effects of your blood pressure medicine before you go and get into this hot steaming shower, and then that dilates your blood vessels even more. We do not want to have an episode where you pass out because your blood pressure ends up much lower than you're regularly feeling. Decrease your stress level. How about you dance? If you don't dance, dance anyway. Just dance. In the privacy of your home, just dance. If you feel stressed and you're out in public, who cares who's watching? Just dance. You will be amazed. If someone sees you dancing, they may start dancing as well. So just dance. Love yourself. Depression is at the all-time high, especially since the pandemic. Depression, anxiety, it's unbelievable. Depression and anxiety constricts those blood vessels. It tightens. You always feel so tight and bottled up and just, oh my God, it's like you want a release. Love yourself. We're most critical of ourselves. God made us wonderfully, beautifully made. Love yourself because you are an extension of God. I don't mean to offend anyone, but you are an extension of God and He made you wonderful. So love yourself. That's going to help reduce your blood pressure. Laugh every day, several times a day. Laughing, it releases endorphins in your body. And you're like, my body has all these things that it's releasing and it's tightening up and it's opening up. Yes, it is. Laugh. If you're laughing every day, just find something to laugh about. Dance every day. Just dance for no reason. Pick your favorite song and just dance. If you have a significant other and they're in a bad mood and you see them stressed out, just think, oh, you're raising your blood pressure. Go and grab them and just dance. And they're going to be like, wait, what are we doing? I'm going to go with it. I'm leading right now. You all just dance. And this is my motto, my anthem, something that I live by. Live your best day today. Today. Not back then, way back in the past. We're not living in the past. Live your best life today. When tomorrow comes, we're always thinking, okay, I'm a thinker. I think about, oh, what do I need to do when I leave here? What do I need to do tomorrow? What do I need to do next week? What do I need to do next month? What do I need to do next year? What's my 5-year plan? Let me tweak my plan. I'm always thinking, but I have to stop myself, and I've learned to do this, and stop and be here today. If you're overstressed, tell yourself, wait, I need to live in the moment. I need to stop for this moment. Because when tomorrow comes, guess what tomorrow turns into? Today. Tomorrow turns into today. So then you get to reset. So when tomorrow turns into today, it's today again. So what are we going to do? Live our best day today. So we're going to live our best day today to help lower our blood pressure. Our blood pressure is called hypertension when it's increased, it's elevated. Things that are not going to change, your heart is not going to stop pumping this blood throughout your body. It's going to push it through your arteries, it's going to circulate everywhere, and it's going to come back in through your veins. That's what we want it to do. But we want to decrease the tension and pressure and stress that it has when it's trying to make this journey. Because our whole body, everything about us, from our hair follicles to the scales on the bottom of our feet, need oxygen, need our blood. You need blood. You need flowing, circulating blood. So let's live. Let's enjoy. Let's dance. Let's laugh. Let's smile. You never know what someone else is going through. You never know. If you smile at someone and they smile back, and then that person who just returned your smile and someone sees them smiling, they smile, it's infectious. It's contagious. And sometimes when you're out, just think about it. If you're hearing someone who's just laughing really, really hard, it just makes you laugh and you'd be like, what are they laughing about? Oh my God, it sounds like they're having a good time. And it just naturally makes you laugh. Laugh. Enjoy life. Someone mentioned about, well, one of the things that I do, I'm the author of a book, and it's called It Takes Courage to Be a Survivor. It's a testimony of hope. And it's a tale of some of the experiences that I had when I was in college. And I thought, being a young lady, I'm getting ready to go to college, I'm going to have all these wonderful adventures, life is going to be great. You never think about things when you're young being tumultuous or tragic. But I had some really tough experiences while I was in college. And in turn, when I graduated, I was all balled up. I was very angry. I ended up with depression. I had anxiety. I had eating disorders. And again, eating affects your blood pressure. Lack of eating affects your blood pressure. Stress, trauma. I ended up with PTSD from all of my traumatic experiences. And so I just kept replaying and replaying. And so I was always bottled up and very, very cautious and timid. And on the flip side, on one side, I'm very timid and withdrawn. And on the other side, I'm ready to lash out. I'm angry. Anger constricts. Anger bottles up. And I was so angry with God. And I had to one day ask God, what is going on? I wasn't like this. God, what happened? And he told me, I'll let you go through things for a reason. So when you're experiencing life that makes you have tension, that makes you feel constricted and bottled up, ask God, what's the lesson? God, what's the lesson in this? God, you chose me because I'm strong, and you want me to in turn be able to help someone else. So give me the strength to go through this. God, give me peace as I go through this. Keep my blood pressure down. Because going through this, I don't want to end up on high blood pressure medicine. I don't want to have a stroke. I don't want to have a heart attack, because I'm dealing with life's challenges. And I brought up my book to tell you, life is going to throw you many challenges, many, but you're a survivor. We're all survivors of one thing or another. And it's how you deal with it. Life is about choices. And that's what I've taught my kids. Life's about choices. Choose to be healthy. Choose to be happy. Choose to live your best day today. Choose to keep your blood pressure down. Just choose, because we're going to survive no matter what it is. Have faith, trust in God, eat healthy, do those things that you need to do without medicine. Now, if you need medicine, please do so. Take your medicine regularly as prescribed by your physician. But there are pharmacological ways that you can go with lowering your blood pressure and keeping your blood pressure down. Exercise. It makes you feel good. So as I leave, if y'all have any questions, feel free to ask. But as I leave, please remember, live your best day today. Your best day.
How can we help you?
How can you help me? I would like to speak to more women who are survivors of sexual abuse, eating disorders, any kind of situation where women need to be spoken to. I love my job at Regional 1. I'm in women's health, and I see women with all kinds of situations, and I'm blessed in that aspect where I'm able to talk to them and let them see, I've been through it, but I don't look like it. You'll never know it. When you read my book, you'll be like, oh my God, really? Everything is true in my book. But I want to empower, and not just women, men as well. Men as well. My brother experienced a traumatic incident, and he was just so angry. And when something happens to a beloved family member, it affects all of us because you love your family. And men experience stress, anger, frustration. They keep theirs bottled up. We call a girlfriend, and let me tell you something. Oh my goodness. And we vent somewhat. Our husbands, our sons, our fathers, our uncles, our brothers. they keep it bottled up. So if you can help me reach out and just talk to people about being a survivor, overcoming, that's what I would love. And yes.
I've noticed ads recently for cold medications designed for people that have hypertension. And I think it's wonderful because my husband self-medicates and I'm going, that is not good for your blood pressure. So now we can buy a better product.
Yes, yes. You can, there's so many different over-the-counter things, honey, lemons, vinegar, apple cider vinegar. There's so many different things that you can do. If he does have a cold, you can use that cold medicine that targets people with high blood pressure. And one thing, if anyone's on Procardia, it's called nifedipine. Nifedipine and lemons, like I say, lemons, they reduce the blood pressure. Just be careful because Procardia has a very, very, very fast reaction time, and it brings your blood pressure down very, very quickly. That's one of our go-to medications when your blood pressure is above 160, over that 100 mark. We're going to give you some Procardia and recheck your blood pressure in 10 minutes, and it will be significantly lower. So if you're on Procardia, make sure you monitor what's going on with your blood pressure. And if you have high blood pressure, buy the little wrist blood pressure devices that you can get from any corner pharmacy. And actually, I bought mine at, I know it's going to sound a little weird, but it's called Harbor Freight. They sell tools. I love tools. I get them from my mother. I love tools. I love Home Depot. So yes, but they sell blood pressure cuffs, and it's just a small little wrist one that you slide on your wrist, and it takes your blood pressure. You can buy that if you go to Walmart or Target, or if you go to the pharmacy. They have the little self boots right there. You sit down, you stick your arm in, relax. It'll take your blood pressure. So there are many different avenues where you can get your blood pressure monitored if in fact you're not able to get in to see your physician. Yes.
One other question. I'm a big proponent of blood donation.
Mhm.
And I know you shouldn't do blood just to lower your blood pressure, but does it lower your blood pressure if you donate blood?
You're decreasing your volume, and it's only for that moment.
Yeah, temporary.
It's temporary, yeah, because you're going to replenish and you're going to increase your volume. So yeah,
Just curious.
but blood donation is great because we need it. We really need it. Well, I thank you all for having me.